If you're someone who feels overwhelmed by having a lot of passions, feeling like there's not enough time to do them, or if you feel like life is just moving too fast, you're in the right place. I'm making this video for you. Let's go somewhere with less distractions. The reason our lives seem so busy is because we fill our schedules with things that we really don't care about. So this video is going to be a process of first eliminating the things that we don't care about. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then that's going to open up a ton of time in your schedule so that you can actually schedule time to do the things you love and have free time and mental space to kind of, process emotions and stuff and be alone with your thoughts, because that's something that we have truly lost touch of in the age of social media and technology in this fast-paced world that we live in. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this, so let's just cut to it. I'm going to ask you, and we'll all answer together. What is the number one thing that takes up your time? All right, 3, 2, 1, the phone, right? I'd like you to think about what it's like when you are scrolling. What is your experience of time? For me, it seems to go by incredibly fast, and then I end up coming out of it, and it's like I can't even believe how much time has passed. It's kind of insane. And then also, you don't really gain much from it. If you ask yourself, what did I gain from this scroll session? Or what did I really get from doing this low effort, shallow searching? I would bet a majority of the time you really didn't take away anything. The phone is a distraction from what we really want in life. Even when you intend to just use it for 5 minutes, the phone has a way of increasing that time, and you always end up using it more than you wanted to. So I'm asking you to reduce your screen time, and I'm going to give you some strategies, but you have to be okay with a little bit of boredom, and it's going to be very hard at first. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but our brains are so wired towards dopamine and quick reward that we have lost touch with the other things in our life that are important to us. So like reading a book. If you are a millennial, or I'm not a millennial, what am I talking about? Gen Z, you probably read as a kid, and I would say a lot of us don't do that anymore. And it's because reading is so much less rewarding, at least in the short term, than scrolling is. And scrolling just takes the place of everything that we used to love doing that takes any amount of focus and time and effort. And so the more you avoid these moments of boredom and silence, your life just becomes a series of things that you're doing that are stacked together with nothing in between. And that really, I feel like, is what makes life feel like it's going really fast, is when I have no time to just be, And that's really bad. Let's get into the strategies so you can really start living your best life. All right, the very first thing, this is my all-time favorite strategy, and it's one of the few habits that I've been able to implement in my life, and I've done it consistently for years. So all it is you're going to plug your phone in somewhere out of reach of your bed. This alone can completely change your nighttime routine and your mornings. It's going to free up a ton of mental space, and you need that time at night to process the day and deal with the thoughts and emotions that came up. You don't want to be doing that when you're actually trying to go to sleep. So the other really good thing about that is in the morning, you don't have to look at your phone first thing. I would recommend that you leave your phone there as long as you possibly can and keep your peace in the morning, because the worst thing you can do is look at your phone, start depleting your dopamine for the day, and that's just going to make your whole day worse, and it'll change your life. Trust me. Second thing, which is hard to do, I've tried it a couple times, but I always kind of end up switching back, to be honest. But grayscale. Turning your phone on grayscale is so simple, and there's been research on this. Turning your phone on grayscale alone can reduce screen time by 30 to 40%. It's going to be boring at first, but like that's kind of the point, is you don't want your phone to be this hyper stimulating thing. You want to be spending your time doing things that you actually care about and that matter to you. The phone takes away our ability to just be. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is do not disturb and notifications. You do not need notifications on for anything besides your messages. And all notifications do is draw you back into the apps. So turn them off, please. Like, you don't need to know when your friend sends you a funny video on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or whatever. So it should be your default to not have notifications on. Also, use do not disturb at night. And I would recommend turning it on. Set it to automatically turn on like an hour or so before your bedtime, and then a couple hours after you wake up. So you aren't using your phone right before bed, and you're also not drawn to use your phone first thing in the morning, because it's just the worst. I already said why, but it's terrible. So those are just a couple tips, and this is going to free up so much time in your day. Now let's talk about how you can use this new free time to do things that you actually care about. So now that you've freed up a lot of your time, you may want to fill it up with all of your hobbies and passions, but I want to encourage you to slow down a little bit. Remember, you don't want your life to feel like just a bunch of things stacked together with no space. I'm assuming that you would like to improve at your hobbies, because in my opinion, that's really what makes doing a hobby really satisfying, is watching yourself grow. But if that's not you, if you like to just try new things and that's what you love to do, then absolutely do that. But the rest of this video is going to be about how to actually improve at a efficient rate and why I think that's the best way to go about it. I really want to encourage you to limit the number of things that you are trying to do at once. I'm a person that has a lot of interests, and I would love to explore hundreds of topics and hobbies and passions, and I want to be good at a lot of things. But when you have your attention spread in 10 different directions, you become really spread thin. A better way to do it is to pick a focus for a set period of time. I think 3 months is a great amount of time to focus on a single thing. You can maybe do 2 things, but I think 1 is better. Write out the things that you want to do, and then pick one that you're going to focus on now. And the other ones, you don't have to, that doesn't mean you're not going to do them at some point, but you just can't do them right now. I think that's a really freeing thing. You're not giving it up forever, even though you're giving it up right now. So just remember that. The reason you want to focus on only one thing is because improvement comes from consistent, deliberate practice. And those 2 things, consistency and deliberate practice, take a lot of time. And it's really hard to improve at something when you also have a lot of other things that are vying for your attention. Focus on one thing. You'll notice that when you get really deep into one thing, you're able to get into that flow state more, instead of just kind of bouncing from thing to thing as soon as it gets difficult. And that's really where improvement happens, is past the point of discomfort. It has to be a little bit uncomfortable for you to stretch your brain and stretch your capacities, and then that's where growth happens. When you make the decision to move from a fast-paced life to a slower one, there's going to be a period of adjustment. And literally your brain is changing when you do this. When you are kind of stuck in this like pleasure-seeking, dopamine-chasing way of living, your brain builds up a tolerance to dopamine. And basically what happens is when you're like consuming super stimulating content, your brain builds a tolerance, and everything else that you would like to do that is not immediately rewarding becomes boring. But the good news is, when you move to a slow life, your brain will change, and these things that used to be super pleasurable will become pleasurable and enjoyable again. But it's going to take some time. So I just want to say this because don't give up. It's not going to be fun at the beginning, probably, but it will be worth it, okay? You'll have a much more satisfying life if you're able to do these slower things that you want to do. More and more, I come to the conclusion that our compass for how we should live is, can I look back at my day and be happy with it? And I've never once looked back and said, I'm happy that I spent my time scrolling. Let's be honest with ourselves. We would much rather be working towards our goals, doing things that excite us and are meaningful to us. And that's really what I'm getting at. So there is going to be a period of adjustment, but you got to stick with it. It's going to be worth it. And I've been talking a lot about why slowness is good. And I think one of the main reasons is you get time to just be with your thoughts. That is something that is like almost been completely eliminated from society these days. So I have 3 ways here for you to get it back. You might be resistant to some of these things at first, but you start to realize that being with your own thoughts is really not that bad. So here's 3 ways that you can include it in your life without really changing much in your day. So number 1 is no music in the car. Everyone loves listening to music in the car, but this is one of the few times that you are alone during the day. Just try it once, just give it a shot, okay? I'm not going to explain too much. Number 2, go for a walk. This is excellent. Amazing. It's an amazing time to think. You get your blood moving, and it kind of changes the way you think as well. It's different from just sitting in one place. And then number 3 is don't entertain yourself while you are eating. And that's another thing that everyone loves to do is put on a YouTube video or a show while they eat. But the more you stack consumption on itself, the less that you're focused on each thing. It's really good. You should try it. Okay? Just trust me. That's all I have to say. Is just trust me on this. Before you go, I need to drive this home. If you really want to change, do it now. Think to yourself, how many times have I watched a YouTube video and then done nothing? How many times have I watched a video and then just gone to the next video and kind of tried to passively absorb what I just learned? I did that for a really long time and it doesn't work. I was never taking action on the things I learned. And I feel like it's a really common trap that you can get into with self-improvement because it feels like you're improving just by watching it. But if you don't do anything outside of the video, you just have more information, but you're not doing anything with it. So your life doesn't really change. So you have a chance right now to break that cycle of just watching and consuming things and do something. Think about what I said in the video and see what you can take with you. Implement 1 or 2 strategies from this video and just see what happens. That's my final point. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm kind of new to making videos, so no one may be here anymore. I'm probably just talking to myself. But if you liked it, like the video, subscribe. If you're still here, you may as well subscribe. I mean, hey, you made it through a long-ish video, and there'll be a lot more content like this. And then let me know in the comments what you're going to do. What was your favorite takeaway from the video, and what are you going to do to improve your life and live slowly? So that's all. Take it easy. Bye.